everyone, and Redneck Computer Geek here, and as you can see across this table, I may or may not have a slight booster pack addiction. Over the course of the years, I have become known for frying, killing, manipulating, and overusing booster packs, to the point that companies now send me beta test booster packs on a regular basis. Other than this one, and that's it. All of these are beta test booster packs that were sent to me by these companies. And I've had the pleasure of dealing with and testing them and brutalizing them in other videos, to the point that we have plenty of carnage, plenty of things that we've fried, and plenty of things I'd like to show you. Because there is a ginormous difference between a $40 RTech on Amazon versus a $200 Gooloo off of Amazon. And these Gooloos are actually not on the market yet. They're going to come out in about 2 weeks after this video. So we'll take a look at this unit towards the end of the video. Alright, so one of the biggest things that you're dealing with when it comes to booster packs is whether it'll kick over your vehicle. What is it capable of dealing with? What kind of vehicle and what kind of situation? And the reason I say kind of situation is that any of these booster packs that you see, from this one all the way over, except for this one, all have some sort of smart controller in them. They all have some sort of directional detection. They all have something that is supposed to go and save you from yourself, basically. Now, if your unit comes with one of these do not have a directional type setup. But they do get us into the idea of something we do want to watch for if we're buying a booster pack. Whether it has a manual override button of some sort. So, on this $40 RTech, as you can see, it is all go, no show. It's about 400 to 500 cranking amp, and it'll turn over your average little 4-cylinder vehicle without too much of an issue. But it'll only do it once. As far as a lawn tractor is concerned, I can turn over a V-twin motor with that about 5, maybe 6 times. That's about it. Now, this right here, this FLYLINKTECH is about $45, gives you a little bit more boosting capability, and uses one of these units. Now, this unit here is not a directional connection, but what it does do is it upgrades you to better crimp-on connections. So when you're watching for these, you want to watch for ones that have the wire that comes around and connects to both sides. Because otherwise, you have to monkey around with only one side matters. And that's the reason why this is here, in order to show you guys. The other thing about this is that these two units here, this is an Imazing. I have no idea where they got that name from. And this is SOLVTIN. These two units here are both $60. These two units are both exactly the same 600 cranking amp. The difference is this one here, if I look all over this, has no boost function whatsoever. So if I take this and I pop it open and stick this in, turn it on, and connect to this starter, nothing happens. In fact, it actually gets mad at me that I'm too stupid to hook it up correctly. The thing about this booster pack is that it'll literally only work if you have some, at least small amount of battery above 9 volts. which means that if you totally leave your lights on, kill your battery and everything, that $60 doesn't mean anything whatsoever. Now this one, on the other hand, this is a SOLVTIN, and the nice thing about this is it's a pretty universal, easy to carry model. It'll crank over your average 4 6-cylinder vehicle without too much of an issue. So if I take this and I hook up my positive and I hook up my negative, I'm going to get nothing. Now, right now you're going, well, that's kind of stupid. Thanks, man. You didn't show me anything. But I did. If I hold on to this boost button on the side of it, and I count to 30, unfortunately, I still don't get anything. So, what we have to do is we have to unplug it. We have to plug it back in. We hook up our positive. And now, on that boost button, we hold it until that turns green. Now, if I take this and I clamp it on here, I can be able to boost over that totally, entirely dead machine. Now, you're going to ask, what is this? And so I'll show you one of these that's been torn apart, which is the big issue with every single one of these from here on out, except for this little magical unit. This is my favorite booster pack. I literally bought an extra one of these in order to put in my truck after receiving this one. We'll get back to that. So, inside of every single one of these, if I crack it open, I have this. This is what was in a 600 cranking amp unit, and this is what came out of one of these HULKMANs, which is rated for like 2,000 cranking amps. This is what they route every single bit of all that cranking amp through, and they will eventually, like this one, fry. And you will end up with a nice little bursty little bit of sparks, and it will never work again. Thus, we have this one, which is currently wrapped up in all kinds of red tape. You'll notice there's another red tape one here. This is what happens if you just totally, utterly bypass that so that you don't have to deal with it anymore. Now, obviously, that is not safe. Obviously, that is a bad idea, unless you're a redneck and you're trying to go and get something done. So, these you can buy independently from most manufacturers. This is the latest proprietary version. If you see, it's got a bigger plug versus the old school attachment. Now, the irony of this is that you can actually grind this plug to fit in this, and you can actually grind this to fit in this plug. You just have to make sure you watch where it is it says negative and positive on it. These ones here, I actually prefer to go and use these. And it's because these do not have a directional circuit in them. They are just straight wired. And you can hook them up right directly, punch the boost button, and have it kick your starter or whatever you're working on. So that's the reason why you would want one of these. These are utterly, totally stupid. They have nothing else in them. The other thing about getting one of these is that you can do this. You can wire up a couple of bolts after tearing apart a $10 set of these. You can buy these independently on Amazon for about 10 bucks. And then that way, all you do is hang this out from underneath the hood of your vehicle that has a starting issue. You run up, you stuff this into your booster pack, you start your vehicle, you grab your booster pack, You put it back in your vehicle, you charge it on the USB cord in your vehicle, and you're good to go for the next time. The other thing about this is you can put it on a lawn tractor that you have a snowblower on to give it extra cranking capability. That is one thing that I use these for all the time, is when it is negative 20 degrees out, you can piggyback one of these onto your regular battery in order to give it one heck of a boost of start. Now, this is Audew. And this particular one is about 800 cranking amps. Audew only sells through their website. So if you're interested in them, they only sell through Audew.com, which is why this little note is here. Now, let's get into some of our big boys, okay? One of the big problems with dealing with booster pack technology is that you end up with clones. One of these is a clone. One of these is fake, and you should never buy it. The answer to that question is this. If you're going to be buying booster packs and stuff, you want to find out who actually came up with the technology, who actually marketed it first, and everything else. If you compare these to the HULKMAN, this rear connector is proprietary to HULKMAN. It is only done by HULKMAN, only sold by HULKMAN. This is a blatant clone that a Chinese manufacturer tried to get me to promote and be able to go and sell to all of you. Does it work? Yes. Is it an actual unit? Yes. But it is a clone unit, and they charge $10 more for it being a clone. So, we're going to take this one off of the table, because I don't think anybody should go and buy a blatant clone of a really good product. This is a HULKMAN 8.5. HULKMAN has sponsored me after blowing up 3 of these units. This little bugger will start a 6-cylinder diesel without flinching. It will start up a 4-cylinder skid steer that has a totally entirely dead battery. It will start up a V8 351 Windsor without any issue whatsoever. This, without question, is my go-to booster pack that I love. This company will always get my praise, and they will always end up getting my promotional statement as far as starting your vehicle. But it does have a flaw. It does have a flaw, and it does have a flaw of which I will point out in a little bit. Now, back here, you're going to see I have another HULKMAN. We already talked about if it is in red, then it is hot wired to be always on, which is what this HULKMAN is, which is why the ends of these are utterly fried. This is actually my second set. HULKMAN actually warranted me a set of these when I blew them up at one point. And so big kudos to HULKMAN. They've been an excellent company to work with. But this HULKMAN is actually missing this little unit on the inside. This is actually what came out of this HULKMAN. And so this is wired direct connection. It is always on. It is always cranking. So what happens if I take my HULKMAN and I hook my HULKMAN right directly to this starter motor? Nothing happened. That's because HULKMAN has this really interesting little button override, which is why it is the other one is a clone, and it's utterly stupid to use because the 2 buttons on the clone are all the way away from each other and everything. HULKMAN designed this so that you can do this override while you are wearing big giant gloves. The other thing about a HULKMAN is a HULKMAN actually can sense the temperature that is in the air, and I have tested this. It will actually thermally cycle and heat itself in order to crank over your vehicle better, and I can attest to this into negative 20 degrees. without question, this thing definitely is the best thing on the table for a universal unit, but it does have one flaw. Now, we've got that. So we've got our buttons right here, and I'm going to hold on to this little bugger because we're going to slam it with every bit of Hulk. Hold the button. And as you can see, it is no holds barred at that moment. So what happens when you get there is it turns ready. And at that point, it is no holds barred for about 30 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this right here and it'll shut off in about 30 seconds. Well, we take a chance to set this aside and take a look at this unit. Oh, for 5 seconds we will talk about why it is the HULKMAN has an issue. So all of these are going to end up sending all these little 12-volt adapters for you and stuff like that. And that 12-volt adapter is really cool. If the HULKMAN is on and I plug in my 12-volt adapter, I can come over here and I can plug this in and Alright, we'll be right back. I need to find something that uses a 12-volt plug in order to demonstrate for you, apparently. Actually, no I don't. I can just tell you and you can take my word for it because you're this far into the video. That thing really doesn't want to live. So, if you plug one of this type into the battery unit, this type is consistent. It is always on as far as the battery packs are concerned. This type, on the other hand, if you plug it into any of these battery packs that have this adapter, this one has it, 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 this one has it. All of the $60 and up adapters are going to have this universal little bugger. The problem is, almost all of them, you have to turn the unit on, and then the unit times out after 30 seconds, turns itself off, and then turns this off on most of them. So if you're planning on blowing up mattresses, if you're planning on using this, you can't use it on like a radio or something that you want to do consistently. You need to use it on something you're just doing for 30-second increments. So, this is one of my favorite booster packs ever. And like I said, I actually bought myself one. Look at the size of these. At $130, these things are no joke. They're absolutely ginormous behemoths. As far as this unit is concerned, if we take it and we plug it in, and then we put that there. Whoops, positive first. I messed up. There, positive first. Grab that. That is 3,000 cranking amps worth of, I'm just going to make sure it starts. But they didn't stop there. This thing, not only is it horrifically capable, it also comes with this little bugger. So if we hit the on button and we toggle it, it has a digitally controlled, programmable air compressor feature in it, which means, like for me, with doing the lawn tractor drag racing, if I knew a PSI that was working at the track and everything, all I had to do was program in the PSI. This thing remembers it in its memory. Every time I show up to the track, I plug this in. I set it up and it automatically tops out to the PSI programmed in, and it's happy. This thing actually also comes with an extension for this in order to make it quite a bit longer. Comes with a few other connections in order to be able to set it up. The one thing about this unit though is that because it is such a gargantuan unit, it has a proprietary charger. It has a proprietary connection for being able to plug in your vehicle. It also has a proprietary charger for your wall outlet. Everything else from here over, all of these charge by a USB-A or a USB-C. This particular unit here is a USB-C charger. This is the only proprietary charger unit that is here. Now, while we're here and talking chargers, I want to go and point out something. These two right here, they come with gargantuan USB-C chargers. And there is a write-up disclaimer that's in both of these in their directions of only using the charger for speed charging these units. I thought I'd be a really smart person and I hooked up my GoPro to one and I managed to fry a nice brand spanking new GoPro battery doing it. And I'm lucky I didn't kill my GoPro considering it was boiling hot when I happened to notice it. So, if you get one of these units or any other unit that has a dedicated speed charger, do not ever plug that charger into anything else. I don't care how smart you think you are, it is a bad idea. I already found that out. Now, the last thing here is this Gooloo. This Gooloo is a gargantuan unit with, yet again, huge clamps. And like I said before, the big thing about clamps and noticing them is they either need to be an actual full metal copper coated joint, or they need to go and show that they have, in the back of this one, they need to have wiring that comes all the way around in order to connect the teeth. So, with this Gooloo is a gargantuan unit, and it also has a preheat in it. Now, I have not had the chance to use this Gooloo as far as negative temperatures because I just got it this summer. But what I will show you is that it does have an override feature. So if I punch that, I'm going to get my screen. Now the thing is, it's going to only show the battery. It's going to just display that. What's going to happen though is that if I hold down boost, it's going to go and change life. Or not. Yet again, this has that stupid safety sensor which is going to go and irritate the snot out of you as a mechanic, and it's not going to do it. Disconnect, hold down boost, ready comes on. Now I take my negative and I make it whir. Wow, okay, that smells burnt. I'm going to put that over there. That little starter is normally only associated with about 300 cranking amp at the very most, so I'm going to assume I probably just burned some bushings out of it doing this demonstration. But, considering the sound it was making, it wasn't long for this world anyway. So there we go. There is my whole thing about this. If you have one of these, and you utterly, totally love having one of these, get one of these. This, hands down, totally blows away everything to do with this. All of these units do USB. They all do it, no ifs, ands, or buts. The thing about buying a booster pack is getting one that suits your actual needs. Do you need one that is stupid proof, that you couldn't override if you had to? Do you need one that will do a regular 4-cylinder, maybe a small 6? Do you need something that you can just boost your lawn tractor with, like these units here? Do you need something that is capable of boosting in extreme cold conditions, which are these two here? Do you need a universal off-road? It's going to help you with recovering vehicles, pumping up stuff at the junkyard, starting things, all that kind of stuff. That would be this unit here. This unit does not have cold start functions in it. Now, do I think it would work perfectly fine in the cold? I think down into -20 you probably would do perfectly fine. If you're going to do anything lower than -20, you most definitely need one of these. The link for this will be in the bottom of this description when it is available on Amazon. Otherwise than that, everything else, as already stated in the video, will be in Amazon links or an Audew link in the description below. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot. I was about to go and start, but...
Okay, I'm gonna try and flush the toilet. There was no water in the bowl.
You're gonna try to what?
Flush the toilet. There was no water in the bowl.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't want to interrupt the video by flushing the toilet.
Oh, okay. You can go flush the toilet.